Welcome in, everybody, and welcome back. It is great to be back. This is the MLS Live podcast on YouTube at Sports Profit TV, and we're also on Twitter now. So if you're watching from Twitter, welcome aboard. This is our second show on Twitter, and the more the merrier. So good stuff. Excited to jump back into some regularly scheduled MLS action. Didn't have a show last week because it was international break and we just got too many absentees and there was only 5 games. So we're back to the full schedule here. Excited to get back into it. And hopefully you guys are excited as well. I'm here with my co-host Garrett. Garrett, do me a favor and make sure that you're not on mute.
Am I on mute?
No, you're here. Okay, cool.
All right.
So for whatever reason, when I started switching over or double streaming YouTube and Twitter, it had all the mics like automatically muted. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just like a little glitch in the system or whatever, but I was having to it was automatically muted and I would have to unmute. So anyways, but yeah, good to be back. Garrett, I know you were a little bit under the weather for a couple of days or maybe a little bit longer. Are you feeling better?
We're hanging in there. I think you can still hear my voice a little bit. It's thrashed. It's just the season I'm in, so we're just hanging on.
Yeah, speaking of seasons, we got our first cool front down here in Central Texas. And a cool front for us is like 90 degrees this time of year, and it's been amazing. It's been a total. It's great. I mean, that sounds hot, for some parts of the country. And I know Garrett, you're still in the South, and you get a lot of the same weather. So, 114 compared to 89, 90 is like feels like heaven. But
I don't know, man. It's 69 right now. I'm good.
Ooh, jealous. Very jealous. Okay, well, we got a lot to get into, and right off the front foot, we are going to talk MLS news like we always do, and we've got some stories to get to. So, right off the bat, New England Revs. I'm going to set this up and kind of let you give us the rundown. I think you are more zoned into what's going on here because I'm going to be honest. All I know is that Bruce Arena was put on leave a month ago or months ago at this point.
August 1st.
Okay, so August 1st, over a month ago, and there has been very little information about it, to be quite honest. And the whole thing is just it's kind of bizarre. So, what the heck is going on here?
So, in a nutshell, Bruce was put on basically like a leave of absence due to in short, unprofessional work conduct, right? Like he said things that he shouldn't have. We still don't know what those things are. It did come out this weekend, last just 3 or 4 days ago, that his longtime assistant coach Richie Williams was part of the complaint. So I made like a half-hearted joke, like it's a sports coup, right? Like here we have a dude going for the head coaching job. Richie was named the interim when Bruce was put on leave. Of course, the powers that be that were involved in this knew that Richie was part of the complaints and made him interim. The Athletic, who has done a really good job covering this, even though it's been dead silent since like August 1st, and we just started getting information here in the past 2 weeks of it really anything. Today it just took off. Saturday is when it got announced that Bruce was resigning. New England canceled their press conference right after their game because this news broke. And people who broke the news were in the press room waiting to ask questions about this. So basically the Revs just pulled the plug on that press conference. And then there was, I guess, some turmoil in the locker room. And this is kind of like fractured and divided them to the point where the players refused to train today. They talked to the president of New England Revolution this morning, weren't satisfied with his answers, so they wanted to talk to the coaching staff. They were not satisfied with their answers. I said, you know what? We're not in the mood to practice today or tomorrow. And so you just got a little revolt going on right now. And then that all spiraled out this morning, right? Then it breaks later on this late this afternoon, early evening, that two assistant coaches who had been butting heads with Richie Williams for quite some time are no longer with the team. And there's now another interim coach. I don't know if this makes him an interim, but there is now a new person being the face of a head coach for the New England Revolution. They called him up from the second team, and Richie Williams is not mentioned anywhere in this that New England put out. And apparently their brass is going to do a press conference tomorrow to answer media questions. So I don't know if Richie Williams is still attached to New England in any way. He's not the interim coach anymore. There's now an interim. It's just wild, man, how this has just devolved to this current point. And so this might be the most dysfunction I've seen in an MLS side.
Yeah, that's crazy. They've got some assistant to the assistant regional manager shenanigans going on over there. But yeah, I'm reading between the lines here. It sounds like if the players today were refusing to practice, that's got to be in support of Bruce, right? Like they're obviously unhappy with that situation.
Because the players were left in the dark too. It's important to know that, like, until the Athletic broke everything, most of the players were in the dark. And so once the story came out that their interim coach was part of the complaints against Bruce, trust was fractured there. And so, like, their main statement today was, we don't trust Richie Williams. Like, so we're not going to practice under him.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it was telling that he wasn't mentioned in the statement today and that they already have another interim coach. It's probably safe to say that Richie's gone, even though they haven't said as such yet. But it's very interesting how we've gotten to this point now.
Yeah, it certainly is.
In short, New England could have handled this better in just about every single way. I swear, man, if you just hire people with brains, you probably are going to be better off in your public relations.
Yeah, well said. I mean, this is a mess. Going to be interesting to see how this. I mean, New England's, one of the better teams in the East, so feels like a little bit of a self-destruct situation going on over there. But we'll keep it moving. Next piece of news here: Kaden Clark. Formerly New York Red Bulls player, obviously with RB Leipzig. He's coming back to MLS, and he's going to land with Minnesota. This is a done deal.
Yeah, he'll be with them in January. So he's coming back to MLS, trying to restart his career. Burned bright at Red Bulls in New York, and then made the jump straight to Leipzig, and ended up getting loaned out to a second division Denmark side, which is where he's at right now. So it's been a tough go in Europe for the guy. He's only 20 though, so there's still a lot of promise there. I think this is a great grab by Minnesota to reignite what could be a really good player.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for him too. I mean, 20 is not old by any means. So MLS on the come up, quality is growing rapidly across the league. So feels like a mutually beneficial move for player and team here. Minnesota, I mean, they're putting some pieces together, man. This is going to be an interesting club to follow. Alrighty, last piece of player news, and then we'll get to predictions for the weekend. Moose up there in Salt Lake City, he is sitting out due to a contract dispute with Real Salt Lake. I don't know the details on this. My take on this right off the bat is this is one of the deeper teams, in attack in that position group. This is one of the deeper teams in MLS. So not sure why he's holding out, but I don't know how much leverage he has here, given how deep they are in attack.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding out because he wants, like, his contract runs out, like, and he wants, um, to secure some future peace of mind. But it's just interesting because, like, apparently the disagreement is, like, I'm not going to use the word promise, but basically how it's being framed is he was told he would get an extension when they traded for him, and
Mhm.
then they haven't given him the extension yet, so now he's sitting out. But, like, I mean, this isn't American soccer is not like soccer around the world. We still can do trades and that contract moves and you don't sign a new deal
Right.
unless the team, like, wants to offer you one. So I mean, like, he's not in a great spot, but yeah, I don't understand the leverage here. I don't know um how this actually benefits him much at all outside of, making sure he doesn't get injured so he can sign another contract with somebody else. But he has been missing for the past couple of games, but he wasn't popping up on the injury report. And so now we finally know why.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fan of the guy. I just think he is in a tough position given how much depth they have in attack. There's got to be, I mean, tons of MLS teams would happily, take this guy and probably pay him what he wants. So,
Oh,
um,
I don't think Masovsky's anything to write home about. I think he's in a good system,
he would
but
be an upgrade for my team right away.
well, yeah, probably, but that's your team.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. I'll take him. I'll take him. I'd rather have him than the $6 million Regioni that we paid for. That's been a total dud. Um, Anywho, here we go. Let's get on to the weekend slate. This is a good one. We've got quite a few games to get to, and give you guys betting analysis and picks, starting with the New York City Derby. This is going to be hopefully not too fun. Hopefully, the opposite of entertaining, right?
Well, it usually is. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to be on the under 2.5 here at -125. This game is at Yankee Stadium, which I do like for NYCFC, but I cannot trust that team, so I'm not about to take their money line. But the under 2.5 being playable here, I really like a lot. We're just going to go real quick over these two over under records on the season. NYC is 9-19. And just so that's 9 overs and 19 unders, and it's 5-8 while they're at home. That's a 38% hit rate on the over. And then the Red Bulls 10-17 on the season, 3-10 away. So 3 overs, 10 unders when they're away. So of course the overs there only hitting at 30%. The under 2.5 has hit in 7 of the last 8 when these two teams face off. I'm not a big head-to-head guy, but when it comes to derbies, especially these two sides, I think it does hold a little bit of weight. And then just for added measure, both teams to score no has also hit in 7 of the last 8 head-to-head. Just a real interesting matchup. New York City was depending on Maxi Morales to help them create just anything from a team that wasn't creating anything. And he's out. He's got a leg injury. He's been their best player since returning from South America, I believe. And so, he's not missing, or he's going to miss. So NYC is going to be hurting on the attack. For the Red Bulls, Lewis Morgan is still out, of course. He's missed the whole season so far. Van Zier is a game time decision. I don't know if he's going to go or not. That's not very clear. I think it is notable that the Nealis brothers are both out. So I think that's going to lead Red Bulls to even taking a more conservative approach here technically on the road, in a derby, missing some defensive pieces. I don't think Red Bulls are gonna do much here, and New York just can't create. Both teams are at the bottom of the attacking stats, like however you want to sort it. Neither can finish. I was very surprised that this under 2.5 was so playable.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, I don't have a ton to say about this game. I think this is a good look. We've both been on New York Red Bull unders for a lot of the season, and NYCFC has been a great under team as well. Attack has looked a little bit better of late, but still, nothing to write home about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the volume comes for in this one. I don't see. If this one gets over, it's probably a bad beat. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but I think this is a good look. And I think this is the only way I would go in this one.
I think missing Maxey just cannot be understated here. Like if he's in, I think you have an argument for NYCFC money line.
Yeah.
But with him being out, that it's going to be so apparent he's missing after seeing him these last 4 games.
Yep, absolutely. Alrighty. I will get us going here with Houston Dynamo at home hosting St. Louis City. And this is probably my favorite play of my 2 plays. This is probably my favorite. And I'm going with the Dynamo here at home to take care of business. It should be noted, João Klaus is back. St. Louis City striker that they've been missing for a while. He made his return last week and scored a goal. So that's obviously a boost for St. Louis City, but I'm not too worried. St. Louis City, I think that they've only won 1 of their last 11 away games. They've lost like 8 or 9 of those. This is just not the same team on the road. I mean, everybody at this point knows St. Louis City at home is great, and they overachieve. They play their best, soccer when they're at home in that crazy environment, and it brings the best out of the team. The energy drink soccer thrives in that environment. Well, going on the road in MLS is always hard. We back home teams a lot in this league. Houston has been a tough place to play the entire season, and I think top to bottom, the team that Houston has assembled is better at every single position, maybe except for goalkeeper. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm taking that last statement in. That one caught me off guard.
Well, sorry, I was lagging. I was making sure that I
No, you're good. Like I said, that last statement caught me off guard. I'm having to soak it in for a second.
Well, Berkey's better than what's his name for Houston.
No, yeah, but it's that Houston is better at every other position. That caught me off guard. I
think there's a case to be made. Maybe not like the true 9 Klaus, but they've got better attacking options. Midfield's definitely better. Anyway, we could talk about that for a long time, but yeah, I think Houston's a better team. I think they're at home here. Probably not going to be as hot, but it's still going to be hot for St. Louis to go down there and play in the humidity in Houston. And man, Houston's been rolling at home. And again, I love the team that they've assembled. Corey Baird has been playing some of his best soccer in a long time. I love the move from Ibrahim Aliyu, the guy that came from Lokomotiva Zagreb in Croatia. Carrasquilla is a monster in the midfield, paired in the midfield with Hector Herrera, obviously, who is their big DP. Quinones out wide, super fast, great attacker. I really like what Houston has done. And I like him in this spot. So what do you think, Garrett?
If I'm playing this game, it's probably Houston money line. I have so many just variables when I looked at this, when I broke it down, that just made me say, no, I just got to get off this game entirely. Like you're right. Houston, great home team. The only team that's better at home in the West is St. Louis.
Yeah.
However, it's easy to say, like, all the teams struggle on the road. St. Louis is still the 4th best road team in the West, and they've only lost half of their road games.
Yes, but to put that into perspective, that was from their start. So they started like winning every game, including all their road games. Look at their last like 9, 10, 11 road games.
No, yeah, but
yeah.
So here's where I'm going with that. My main concern here is that St. Louis somehow, because their 24-year-old striker, No. It's the other one. He's suspended. So I think St. Louis goes back to their original setup earlier in the season where it's Klaus and Gio up top.
Mhm.
And that worked very well when Klaus was healthy. And
Yeah, they were
so
kicking butt.
and so I think they go back to some of their old ways. The other guy's just been so hot, they haven't been able to like take him out of the lineup. He's just been scoring regularly, but he does well in the system. I don't think he's anything to write home about. And so here you are putting, I think, two better strikers paired up together than what they have been playing with. So the draw is ultimately what pushed me off this game. Is as St. Louis is just going to do something here to really threaten to squeeze out a point. This is not going to be sweat free. And I honestly think with Houston's home form, I thought the price would be more expensive. I get it, it's St. Louis and where they are in the standings, but when you look at those underlying numbers, it's not as impressive, right? And so everything about this just smells a little off. But yes, if I'm on this game to get Houston at this price at home, it is a play I would take against most MLS teams.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I think I'm comfortable fading the St. Louis team on the road. But yeah, to your point, Samuel Aiden Urin.
That's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, what's crazy about him is he was actually with San Antonio USL side for like 10 games and was scoring like 2 goals a game every time he was playing. So, and then he goes up to St. Louis City and also had some good performances there. But yeah, I mean, all good points. I'm just, I still just think St. Louis City is a little bit overvalued, and to get them in a tough road environment, Houston's been playing great at home. They're really gelling right now. Hopefully Karaskia plays and he's not, too tired from his international duty, but all right, let's keep it moving. Next game.
That is 100% to the way to play it. If you're on this game, it's got to be Houston money line.
Okay,
like,
right on.
Both teams to score is not super viable when Houston's at home. The over isn't super viable when Houston's at home. So all those St. Louis City metrics you kind of look at, do not follow them in this one.
Right on. All right, El Trafico. Is there a better game on the slate when these two play? Arguably, no. Garrett, this is one of yours.
It is fact. This is the best matchup in MLS any season. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they just continue to do it, man. Every time these guys play, they figure out how to make it fun.
It's just fireworks, man. So yeah, if you give me a 3 or less that's playable as a total, I'm gonna be on the over. So even with the juice at -145, I'm on the over 3 here for 2 units. I can pretty much guarantee this line will not be playable by this weekend. And what I mean by playable is like, I don't do anything over -150. I'm not touching it if it goes that high. So it's right under my juice line. So I'm going to grab it now because I don't think it's going to be there come the weekend. And it's El Trafico, man. We have gotten 3 or more goals in 15 of 20 head-to-head matchups. That's all time since LAFC since their inception. In this matchup, the over has hit, or at least pushed, if it was 3 or less, 75% of the time. That's just wild. That's more than a trend now, right? Like that's kind of just baked into this matchup. When I look at this season in particular, both these teams in the over 2.5 are hitting at 60% or better this season. LAFC at home have an expected goals per game of 1.87. That's lovely. I love LFC when they're at home. On the Galaxy away, when they're away, they're good for about 1.1 expected goals a game, but they do give up 1.66 expected goals against in their away matches. So I like it for a push here. I think at worst, LAFC had some big names of theirs on international duty: Biuk, Bouanga, Maldonado, Christian Torres. All those guys should be fresh outside of Maldonado. He's probably going to get some extra run. Bouanga, actually, you would think he would get run. He got subbed out in the first 10 minutes of their game, but that's because his team got a red card, and so he was sacrificed. It wasn't because of injury. So I love a fresh Bouanga, fresh Biuk. Christian Torres, we'll see. We'll see what he's gonna do. I'm not super high on him, but he is gonna be the 9. He's leading the line. We'll see if he can. If there was a spot to start finishing, it would be this game. So yeah, again, when you give me the 3 here and it's playable, I'm all over it. It's the juice is keeping me off from doing 3 units. This is typically a 2 to 3 unit match for me.
Yeah, this is one of those that, I mean, if you have
And
just
it
played,
is a 2 unit for this one. I don't.
okay, this
Sounds
is the 2 unit. Okay,
yeah.
this is the 2 unit. There was some confusion on my end about that. It was just kind of a busy day, a little bit of a whirlwind, and I accidentally posted a typo. So this is the 2 unit that we advertised, and with good reason. Like you just said, if you had just played this since the inception, first of all, the total probably didn't start at 3, the first 3 or 4 times that these guys played. So you're cashing somewhere around 70-75% when you're playing the over in this game. Just blindly play the over when these two play. But with that being said, it's not a blind play, because LA Galaxy attack has been looking great. We know what LAFC looks like at home. These two match up really well for goals, and rivalries around the world seem to be cagey and low scoring. Rivalries in MLS are the opposite. Like the energy is there, the goals are flying, the shots are flying. It's a ton of fun, and this one is the pinnacle. No offense to Portland and Seattle and some of the other good rivalries around the MLS, but to me, this isn't, obviously we don't have 100 years of history in this rivalry, but man, like this is the pinnacle for me as far as rivalries, and I don't think that that's really that hot of a take. So,
And I gotta comment on HU's Billy Sharp comment.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, you're not gonna get me excited about a 37-year-old striker. Like it's not gonna do it. Did he score last game? Yes. It was against 10-man St. Louis. Like that ain't gonna do it for me. Billy wants to show up in this one and do a brace and help me hit my over, then we can talk. We can talk. But until then, no, I'm not getting excited about 37-year-old Billy Sharp.
I forgot that Billy Sharp had made the move over. Wow. All righty. Well, let's keep it moving to the next one here. Austin, my team, at home against Portland Timbers. You know who loves to fade Austin? Me. I love to fade Austin. So give me the Portland Timbers, double chance, or plus a half, depending on the book. Minus 105. Look, Portland's been playing pretty well since their coach left, or not left, since Savarese was let go, sacked, fired. They have looked like they've got a little bit of the new manager boost going on. I mean, just if you just look at their expected goals, I mean, they've really been creating. I don't know if it's just kind of like let the guys play. Evander looks more comfortable. Everything looks better. And I think they're the better team. So, they're starting to heat up. Austin is abysmal. I mean, they've got one good player. Obviously, Driussi's great, but it's just not enough anymore. And Austin's on a skid. I don't necessarily see it stopping here. I don't have a ton for this game, to be honest with you, as far as analysis. But if you're going to give me a playable opportunity to fade Austin here on the double chance, and like I said, Portland looks better. And both of these teams are tied, by the way. Both are stuck at 33 points outside looking in the West. As far as the playoff spot is concerned, I think the number 9 spot is sitting at 38. So both of these teams are still within reach if they heat up, and Portland is starting to heat up. So this one should be a dogfight, but give me Portland double chance.
No, based on form, yeah, this is definitely the lean here. It's just, I think, yeah, I think you've got it here. I think you just have to ride that new coach wave and see just how long it carries you, right? Like if you're going to be able to get double chance at this kind of a price. I mean, man, that is there's just it doesn't make any sense for Austin to be that big of a favorite uh at all. So nothing's popping up on the injury report that I see that's like surprising or anything like that. So we'll see. Maybe there could be goals here. Austin's been a little stingier at home on the defense. Not that they deserved it, that's just the results they've been getting as far as goals allowed. So yeah, maybe some goals could be in the cards here too.
It's just so hard. It's just so hard to back Austin for goals, even in good spots, like good spots that should have goals and there should be open play. When you have guys like Rajoni and Zardis out there that they just don't put it away, man. It's just such a gross attack there in Austin. And obviously, that's a team that's near and dear to my heart. So I'm not hating on them. I'm as aware or more aware than anybody of what we've got there, at this point in Austin.
I think you could sign Austin up for one here. I mean, they've failed to score in only 15% of their home matches. I think you're good to sign them up for one. So like, I don't have lines in front of me. Apologies, but depending on what it is for both teams to score or both teams to score over 2.5, something like that. If you're wanting more action on this game because you're just a degenerate, that's another direction I would look. But yeah, form wise, Portland to get something out of this match is definitely in the cards.
Okay, last nugget about this game, and then we can move on. So last 3 games, Portland has had less possession than their opponent, and that seems to be how they prefer it. With Evander and Yimichara and Moreno, they like to be in that position. I'm just looking to see is Asprilla healthy?
Yeah, he's been super sub lately.
He's been super sub.
He's been coming off the bench.
Okay. I still think that attack is better when he's out there. All right, moving on to the next one. Garrett, this is your game. I throwing it back here to a super old Columbus Crew logo, by the way.
Yeah, I dig it, man. That's I love a good throwback, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, so here I'm going to grab Orlando City team total over 1.5 at a -115. And I'm just to be honest, like the stat wise, there's nothing super great to write home about. Orlando for the season is averaging 1.3 expected goals a game when they're at home. What I do like, and I talked about this a little bit if you follow me, the Crew have a young defense, or not a great defense, and a young goalkeeper who's going to make mistakes from time to time. And that's been shown when they travel on the road. You're looking at a 1.46 expected goals against per game when they play away. But neither one of those really signal like, yeah, team total is the absolute way to go. However, Orlando City's offense has come alive since the summer as they've hit 2+ goals in 5 of the last 6 home games in all competitions. Now, when I inverse that with the Crew, well, they've given up 2+ goals in 4 of their last 5 away games in all competitions. Duncan McGuire, who's been a godsend for this Orlando attack, is a game time decision. But everything I'm reading says that they believe he's going to go, which I like. And I know the Crew can score as they have 54 goals in the season, and that's second in the league behind St. Louis at 55. So even with poor away form like the Crew have, this is why I'm passing on plus money for the Orlando City money line and grabbing their team total over 1.5. Everything lines up for me for where I can back this and still grab a win if Orlando come out and pull a 2-0, 2-1 win. But if Crew hang and we get a 2-2 or even a higher scoring game, then I'm still out of there and I don't have to sweat that money line. So yes, the money line is plus money. I don't hate that look. In this particular matchup, though, when I can get team total for just a little bit of juice, that's the way I'm going to go based on how both these teams are currently playing.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So Orlando has scored 2 or more at home in 6 straight. So they are coming alive. And like you said, Duncan McGuire, cool story, MLS super draft guy, if I remember correctly. And he's just been putting them away, man. He's just a dog. Like he tracks the ball. He will run through you. He will run in between your legs. However he needs to get to the ball and put it in the back of the net, that man gets it done. And so he's easy to like because of how hard he works and because of the results that he's putting out. So I hope he's able to go. Obviously I feel like we both like it better if he goes. And yeah, Columbus Crew. I mean, it's partially their system under Nancy, because even when Nancy was at Montreal, they were conceding goals. You could basically count on them to concede, especially on the road. So I like it. I like goals in general here. Is this total at 2.75 or at 3?
I thought it might be 2.5 juiced.
If it's 2.5 juiced, give me the over. I like the over.
I think the juice is what turned me on to just the team total here, was to save a little coin. I'll look for it do you have anything else?
Not really. I like it. I like the play. I think I like the over as well here in this one. I think it's
an over 3. Over 3 at minus 120.
There you go. Okay. So I definitely prefer the team total then. If this total's at 3, I definitely prefer the team total.
All right. Crew, they can attack. You just don't know what you're going to get, right? Are you going to get 2 goals from them to make this a game, or are they going to lose 2-0? Like, it's Crew on the road are just hard to read, but you know what potential is there.
Absolutely. All righty. Last play here. This is going to be Garrett's as well. It's a double. This is a parlay here. So
yeah,
I've got
parlay action.
Yeah, so we've got Rapids at home against New England, and then we got the Earthquakes at home against RSL.
Yeah, so I'm going to touch on the Rapids first. I'm going to do the under 3.5 here. If you've watched this show much, especially earlier in the season, I talked about how under 3.5 when the Rapids are at home is one of my favorite parlay pieces out there when it's viable. It's a viable parlay piece here. And this under 3.5 is hitting at 92% for home games for the Rapids. Just a wild stat. Teams just struggle when they go up to that elevation. The Rapids cannot score to save their lives. In New England, dealing with all of that turmoil that just happened, I think you're going to have dysfunction galore, and it's going to be an interim coach versus an interim coach. I don't see goals here much at all. So an under 3.5 with a 92% hit rate on the season, I will take that. I wanted something to pair with it, and so I'm going to tap into the San Jose RSL match with both teams to score. And this is really a big part of this play is just percentages for me. Both teams to score when San Jose is at home is hitting at 64%. RSL, when they go on the road, both teams to score is hitting at 69%. San Jose, the attack at least looks good at home with a 1.43 expected goals a game, and they've only failed to score in 14% of their home games. RSL, they're only going to give you about a goal when they go on the road expected wise, but they've only failed to score in 23% of their away matches. So when I look at all those percentages, line it up with a nice under 3.5, I like. San Jose, I've messed with them too much when they travel. I need to stay off of them when they're on the road. But at home, they have been a regular cash for me. So RSL, we know they can score. We know they can give up goals. I like the both teams to score here. It's juiced. Tap it with a juice under 3.5, and you get a nice plus 120, 121-ish.
Yeah, I love the plus money here. I have to say personally, my favorite leg of the two has got to be the Rapids and New England on the under 3.5. I think that is a fantastic parlay piece. I like both of them. But if I had to pick one,
it was finding something to go with that under 3.5. Like that under 3.5 was a lock. You can use You can use that as a parlay piece whenever the Rapids are at home.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. I'll very high chance I'll be using that on some of my own stuff as well this weekend. But all righty. Let's see here. Let's get our back here. All righty. Well, appreciate everybody that tuned in. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, thanks for watching. We will continue to do this most Tuesdays, barring any unforeseen circumstances, but good stuff. And Garrett, any closing remarks?
No, we finally just get a nice little stretch of MLS. No Leagues Cup, no international breaks. We get about a good 4 or 5 week stretch here of just straight MLS. And so hopefully getting back to the norm. It's been a little weird since Leagues Cup ended. But no, we're the show always does well. So I'm looking forward to a big weekend. As always, best of luck to whatever you're on. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.